Well, hi guys, it's me again, Ken, and I'm working on this new project. Oops. This is a, see how it stops ticking? This is a 1939 ball clock, or World's Fair, 1939 World's Fair ball clock. This is what it looks like. And the only thing I did so far is I took the minute hand off. And I know it looks like a terrible looking clock, but I'm thinking I might paint it up and refurbish it. But first I got to get it working. That's the first thing. I bought this on a local eBay or Kijiji, one of those things. I paid $50 for it. They sell on eBay for about 110 Canadian. I paid 50 Canadian, not working. And the ones on the eBay didn't have all the parts. See, I have the key, I have the minute hand, which I took off and cleaned up a little bit. And so I have the hour hand, I have the pendulum, I have the pendulum bob. So I have all the parts. And yeah, so I think I'm ahead because most of the ones I saw did not have all the parts. So I'm ahead by that. So what I'm going to do right now is try to take this apart. Never seen this kind of clock before in my life. Didn't know how to take the hands off. I used my hand remover to pull the minute hand off, and it came off. And then I used the hand remover to try to pull that, and all that happened was it came out that far. So I've never seen that happen before, but I could not get that hour hand off. So it must pull out completely from the clock once this half is off. So I don't even know where to begin, to be honest with you. I don't want to take that bob off just yet. So I'm going to take this top part off. Take that off. And I'm going to take the clock away from its stand. That's just a stand that I loosened up on the bottom. This one. So I had a little play in it. This one's nice and tight. So I won't need this for a while, but it should be easy to paint that, I would think. Do a little sanding, try to match that color. I think it'd be nice. Might be harder to paint this, and some people say, no, don't paint it. But let's leave it to its original 1939. Apparently there's a patented in 1936. Patented in 1936 and came out at the World's Fair in 1939. It's a baseball, basically, with numbers on it. I like it. It's kind of cute. Yeah, so we got these two halves to take off. And that's what we're going to do first. So I'll move this out of the way. Put it down here where my batteries are. I'll see if we can get the front half off first. Who knows? I may never... Oops, there goes the screw. It just took a dive. Oh, and I see it, which is very rare. It's because I don't sit close to the bench. You gotta sit close to the bench. Alright, let's put that screw in there where we won't lose it. I have never taken apart a clock like this, so you know what I know. But repairing the clock should not be a problem because all clocks work on the same principles. All right, there's that piece there. There's what's inside. It does not come apart. I don't know. It's all one piece. She's all one piece, slightly curved to fit the ball. Does not come apart there. Does not come apart there. So we pretty much have to leave that part like it is. Yeah, let's see what we got here. Oh my goodness. This escapement is very different. I need light. I need some light on this subject. What the heck? Sorry if you can't see, but I need my... This is very unusual. Very dirty. The clock is extremely dirty. The mainspring is completely wound. I'm going to let that down before I get it even out of here. Before I take any parts apart. Alright, let's take the back half off. Mr. Clumsy, I'm the clumsiest clockmaker there ever was. Don't send your clock to me to get it repaired, because it will come back in worse shape than I received it. And that is why I don't fix clocks for a living. This is just a hobby. I don't fix people's clocks. Okay. Alright. Screws are out. And to me that shell should come out. I don't seem to want to. Don't seem to want to. It's just probably been on for so long. It's a little stuck. She's just a little stuck. She's really stuck. How about that? Might be rusted on. Do I really want to take that off? I don't think I do, because the pendulum's going to get bent if I do. This is really an unusual clock, folks. Now I could just see the pivots here. There's pivot. There's pivots. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 pivots plus this one here. So 5 altogether. I could just clean those out with a toothpick, oil it, and this thing would probably work. Let's try that. That's not the way I clean clocks, so I like to take them fully apart, disassemble them, clean the mainspring. But I'm just curious if this little guy will go, and since it's alien to me and I don't know how to take it apart, let's try option A first. I just want to see if this little baby is its desire to go, or is it a stubborn clock? I'm just digging out all the old crud out of these pivots, and there is crud in them. Looks like earwax. I mean, there is crud. Oh, yeah. It probably hasn't been cleaned since 1939. But I'm going to take it apart either way. because it's not justice to the clock. It's just that I gotta figure out how the silly thing comes apart. It has to release its secrets to me. How are you going to release your secrets to me? Takes skill to do that. Yep. She's fully wound, but she's so dirty. How do you get the pendulum? How do you get the pendulum off to remove the clock? See, I can't get this backside off at all without removing the pendulum, without dropping it down. And I can't drop it down. Boy, this is a nightmare. How does that work? Might be pivot's gone. Well, we really have a challenge, folks. This long pendulum bar goes up into a wheel attached to the escapement wheel, next to the escapement wheel. There's no way to release the back plate and no way to let down the power without seeing the other side. And I can't see the other side because I can't take this off, this outer plate like I did here. I took this outer one off, but I can't take this one off because the pendulum comes through it. The pendulum comes through it. So, and there doesn't seem to be any way to remove the said pendulum. So that is an enigma. That is what you call an enigma. An enigma. I see the spring. Wow. I'm going to have to shut the camera off instead of wasting your people's time. And then when I figure this out, I will turn the camera back on and make it look like I know what I'm doing. That's what I'll do. Okay, so I got it off. All I had to do, wasn't that hard, probably you people already thought of it before me, is to loosen this off and then just take the pendulum bob off and then glide this down through here. So it was up on here like this, and took the bob off, slid it down off. Okay, so the other half of the world is off, or the bob. The baseball, the other half, I think of it as a globe for some reason. But now I can get access to the screws that hold this in. So then I can remove the movement And then when I can remove the movement, I can get access to the click spring and to reduce the power. So just by taking the movement out, I'm not at risk of exploding the clock, because I'm not going to take apart the plates, although I have to be careful. Those do it. So, but not really get on the side. See, now this is a key. Oh, you got a key now. Wow, you're okay. Well, just last slide. Now we're back to the key. Yeah. Somehow I got to see the key. Where's the small fit? Okay, that's my key. Alright, so as obvious, you get lucky, sometimes you find like this. Let's see how this works. Okay, yeah. How would I like? This is like. Okay, sorry, spring. Okay, lucky. Let's see this. Okay, look at that. Wow, I have that key. Wow, how is that possible? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's not that key. 8 sides, right? That key's not okay. So this is going to get danger. This thing starts to spin in your hand. Oh, look, it's a little power. Now it's all. There we go. Just like a key, upside down. Put it down here. There it goes. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Does that ever hurt? See, this allows me to hold it. Up. I reduced it a little. I think we're going to have to go to the vise. So I'll have to pause this while we go to the vise. Okay, so we had a little luck. We got the power let down. Mainspring is all loose now. So that means I feel safe in taking these little screws out, these little nuts off. I feel safe in taking them. I need a small screwdriver, something to grab these. We'll take those off. I know I probably got a socket or a wrench that small. Nope, don't have that one. These are really small. One little screwy. Put them in here. Man, you cannot lose these, they drop so easy. Boy, well, I remember how to put that back in. The little hole, the stick faces the big hole. So when you put it back in, it's got to go like this. And the two little holes and two wide holes go that way, yeah. And the big stick faces out. So there's the little hole and the big hole. The big stick faces out of the big hole. Okay. We have our movement. Look at the crud in these pivots. There is our mainspring full of dirt. We have to take that out, clean that. The click is really rough shape. This is really bad. Bad. Dirty. Dirty. I've never seen, well, I have seen a clock this dirty. Also, there's a single hole in that device that wow, the tolerance can't be very much. There's no tolerance for that. Escape wheel tooth has to go in the hole in this little cannon. Oh my goodness. Wow. Let's hope I can get those tolerances back together. This thing's about to explode. It wouldn't have exploded had I taken it off without letting the mainspring down, because there's extra screws on the inside. So there's screws on the outside and screws on the inside. So how does it go? It goes back like this. And then you take the screws off the outside, and you still have 4 more screws to take the plates apart. It's just a single time train, so not complicated. Should not be difficult to put back together. If I take it apart, I'm just looking at how things work. So you got the 1 wheel, the 2 wheel in the center. You got the 3 wheel over there. 3 wheel, center wheel. This wheel goes on the center wheel. The center wheel goes onto this wheel. And this wheel goes onto that wheel. And that wheel goes to the escape wheel. Okay. And this one is in place. It does not move. Why does that not move? You gotta give it a good look, folks. Gotta give it a good look. Take these plates apart. Take this baby apart. Let's do it. I don't see any problems here. Like I say, always let down the power of the mainspring before you take a clock apart. That's a simple thing. That's what beginners don't do, and they end up smashing clocks. But you got to make sure that power is down, 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 down. I always give it a good look over to see what wheels interact with what wheels before I take it apart. This is not a complicated clock, time only. Time only clocks are not complicated. It's when you get into strike, and then when you get into strike and chime, that they're more complicated. Okay, of course, something flew off and fell down. The escape wheel. And you can't run over it with your chair. That would not leave the part in a good place. Wow, look at that thing. Never seen anything like that. That's a patent, all right. Never seen anything like it. Wow. Yeah, folks. Talk about wear. Mainspring goes onto one, two, three, four goes on number 1. But how do I orient it to know that's number 1? You don't want to put it over here. You got to make sure you put it on the right one. So what we'll do is we'll make a little mark over here for mainspring. Just a little X. No one will know the difference. No one will know. Okay. We have our clock apart. We're going to clean it. We're going to make it look pretty. Which way does this thing go? Does it come out? Can we get it out? I don't think we're good the way it is. Here's your clicks. The click is in pretty good shape, actually. Nice and strong. So the click is nice and strong. This is the inside plate. Look at the goo. Look at the goo. Oh my God, if I could show you this. If I could show you this, look. Oh my God. Oh, it's... Wow, I just noticed something. Look at the goo. This clock has been worked on. There's appears to be 1, 2 bushings and maybe 3 bushings have been put in. 3 bushings have been put in this clock by someone that doesn't really know how to put in bushings because they're not level. When your bushings are not level with the plate, it allows a buildup of oil. And these bushings are just below the plate, so they didn't use the right thickness of bushing. Maybe they didn't have them available. That's always the problem. Availability. I got bushings here, a big box of them. But I don't think I'll need to rebush anything, but I won't know until I clean everything up and try it. Look at this. Look at that. Goodness. All right. All right, so into the ultrasonic cleaner we go. Okay, so what do we got here? We got all the parts shiny and clean out of the ultrasonic cleaner. I'm going to clean some of these ends. Clean that one, clean that one. I didn't clean this one. Forgot to clean that one. Anything, these are all the parts. I had to get some polish there. One of these. Stretch this thing right out. We gotta grease this. We gotta clean it and grease it. So I'll do that off camera. Well, maybe I can show it to you. Maybe I'll show you everything. Oh, a lot of parts of this clock. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 pieces. It's not a lot. Alright, so we can put this here. I don't want to look down there. I want to look more up here, where I'm going to see if I can stretch this thing out. Told you I was hungry. Right back later. Stretched out as far as you can. Good. This is the oil. Okay, there's a lot of noise in the background now, so hopefully you'll hear something, because I got the heat pump water heater going. I got the washing machine going behind me. So, I mean, this is my bench. This is where I have to work, so I got no choice. Anyway, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to peg out the pivots, the pivot holes. I'm going to peg them and make sure there's no dirt left in them. And this is all you do, is you just pivot, clean out all the little pivots and holes so that they are nice and clean. Alright. Don't want any dirt left in these pivot holes. Yeah, I can't believe this little clock was bushed. 3 bushings someone put in it. So at one point it was serviced, by someone who knew sort of what they were doing. Because they put in bushings that were, in my opinion, not the right size, leaving places for oil to gather. Okay. I just want to do a test. Now this wheel down here, we put a little grease in there instead of oil. Creative in how I get the grease down in there. Come on, grease. I'm going to put a little grease on this click. Just because it works a lot better when you do. Grease on our click. I don't put much grease on the clock. Alright, so we do a test fit now. This is what I do now. I do a little test fit. See if I can remember where everything goes. It's like a puzzle you gotta put back together. Right? It's a puzzle you gotta put back together. This is the post. Where does he go? We've got two options here. It's two holes. Now we got her. This one goes up here like this. My hands are greasy, I gotta clean them. I'm touching that thing there. That's the way she goes. This goes like this. That's how she goes, folks. That's how she goes. That simple. It's that simple. Deal with some real small nuts. Dealing with some real small nuts. I can't even pick them up, they're that small. I just want them on there loosely so that we can put everything else in place. Right now it looks like a mess in there. Not even the mainspring is in place yet. He's crooked. He's crooked. Boy, you gotta be gentle with this. Put that in last. Okay, we got one in. Mainspring. Parts are flying out. Oh, this is really hard. I've done a lot of these. This is really hard. I do a lot of these. I like doing this part, but boy, this one's hard. You can't crush any of these or you'll bend them, they're so small. ST records, possibly. Greasy. Okay, so sorry about what happened. Is I was videotaping and the telephone battery died, so I didn't know it died. But all I did from that last point that you saw where I finally got all the pivots lined up, I just tightened up the nuts and tested it, and it worked. And it was alive, which is nice. And then I just put it in the ball and put everything back together, and I'll show. It's in testing right now. But here is the little guy. And she seems to be going pretty good. I don't know if you can hear it ticking away there. Yeah, you can. So, how's it doing for time? Let me see. Oh, it's running pretty slow, actually. So that means I'll have to raise that pendulum bob, which is, it's good that it's running slow. I'd rather that than running too fast, because it's got too much amplitude, and I can slow that. I can shorten that amplitude. So, yeah, so successful project. The little clock is back alive. Thanks for watching, and please leave some comments, good or bad. I don't mind. I'd like to get comments, because I hardly ever get comments on my videos. So I'd like to hear from you and tell me what you think of the video. Tell me what you think of the clock. Thank you.